Hi, okay, so today I thought it would be fun if I went through what I watched in June and like on my letterboxd and just shared my thoughts on like everything that I watched and what I rewatched because I'm a proud movie rewatcher. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. So I started off this month with Get Out, which is one of my favorite movies ever. I love Get Out. It's a great movie. I mean, everybody knows about Get Out at this point, so like, what more is there to say, to be honest? 5 out of 5. Okay. Next, I rewatched Sinners, which is the best movie to come out of 2025 so far to me personally, and I'm sure that a lot of people would agree with me. It's such a great movie. It has a great soundtrack. I feel like horror movies nowadays are very, very, very hit or miss. This hit, bruh. This was a good one. This is an amazing horror movie, and vampires, like, duh, I'm watching it. 5 out of 5. Okay, next up, first documentary of the month, I watched Paris is Burning, which is a great documentary to watch during June because it's about like drag balls, and I didn't know about like what was going on at that time during like the 80s and 90s in terms of like the drag community, the LGBTQ community in general. So I learned a lot from this one, and like I'm so simple when it comes to documentaries, but like this was a really good documentary, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with me on that. 5 out of 5. Amazing. Go watch it right now. Okay, next up, I watched Enter the Void. Okay. Oh, this movie. This movie has been on my watch list for like a long, long time. Like it was at the very bottom of my watch list. I was like, you know what? I might as well watch it. Why not? It's directed by Gaspar Noé, who also directed Climax, which I really liked, even though it made me really anxious, but it was a good movie. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch this one. I did not like this movie, which I feel like is kind of an unpopular opinion. I feel like a lot of people like this movie. And, like, it's a weird movie, which is fine with me. Like, I like weird movies, but I didn't feel like the weirdness really had a purpose. I didn't get it. Like, maybe I just, like, don't get it, but I didn't get it. What I will say, though, is that the cinematography was great. I really liked all of the trippy camera shots and colors. I love colorful movies. I also like dull movies, but whenever I see a colorful movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great, but this was not great. 2 out of 5. Okay, next up, I watched 1985, which I feel like a lot of people haven't heard of this movie, so I'll just like give like a quick synopsis. It's about this gay man who goes home to his family's house in the holidays. Obviously, it takes place during 1985, so you can imagine his family is really conservative and he's not out to them, and that's basically the premise. It's a really good movie, really sad, which you could probably guess, but it's a good one, really underrated queer movie. 4.5 out of 5. Okay, next up, I watched this movie called Weekend, which was also really good. It's directed by the guy who directed All of Us Strangers, which I rewatched this month, so I'll talk about that in a bit. But this was a good one. The two leads had really good chemistry, and, it's a gay movie. So, yeah, obviously I liked it. And, yep, 4.5 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I watched Cecil B. Demented, which is directed by John Waters. If you're into weird queer movies at all, you'll know who I'm talking about. You know who John Waters is, but if you don't, well, just look him up, and maybe you'll think I'm crazy, but I am from Baltimore, so, obviously I know who John Waters is. This is my favorite John Waters movie that I've watched. It was really good. I thought the satire was great. I think it's a really interesting movie in terms of his filmography. Yeah, I recommend this one. Maybe not as, like, if you're just getting into John Waters, like, maybe, like, maybe watch a couple of his other movies first, but this one was good. 5 out of 5. Okay, next up, I rewatched Aftersun because I love to suffer. Aftersun is my favorite movie, like full stop. It's my favorite movie. It resonates with me like so deeply on such personal level. I love Aftersun. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I mean, it's a very like talky movie, like it's basically just talking the whole movie, and maybe some people will find it slow, maybe it won't be your cup of tea. Obviously, I love it, so, you know, but it'll tug at your heartstrings, so be warned. Okay, next up, to lighten the mood a bit, I watched Raising Arizona, which is by the Coen brothers. This was fun, you know, which, like, obviously that's why I watched it, because I was like, I can't watch another depressing movie. But yeah, this was funny, this was a good time. Fargo is better, but, you know, it's hard to top Fargo, so, yeah. Okay, next up, I watched Multiple Maniacs, also by John Waters. As a bitch with religious trauma, I both loved and hated this movie. I did not need the fucking, like, Stations of the Cross, like, said to me, but, you know, I see what he was going for, and I liked it. 4.5 out of 5. I mean, what? 3.5 out of 5. Oh my gosh. Okay. Next up, I watched a documentary about Divine, who is John Waters, or was, because he's dead, unfortunately. John Waters' kind of like muse, a drag queen who's in like movies like Multiple Maniacs, Pink Flamingos, which if you frequented any disturbing movies list, you've heard of Pink Flamingos. But yeah, this was a pretty good documentary. Like, not like the best documentary I've even seen. Like, again, I'm pretty simple when it comes to documentaries. If I learn something new, like, you know, I'll be like, yeah, that was a good documentary. 3.5 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I watched the Phoenician Scheme. Yeah, that's how you say it. This like came out really recently, and I liked it. You know, like, I love Wes Anderson movies. This was really funny. Like, this was a funny one, which, like, you know, most of his movies are funny. I just felt like there was maybe something like missing. Like, I was kind of like, I like Wes Anderson movies where there's like an emotional aspect. I feel like this was kind of missing that, but, you know, it's a Wes Anderson movie. It was great. I would recommend going to see it. 4 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I watched Hairspray, which, yeah, like, the original one, by the way, directed by John Waters. It was good. Yeah, like, obviously not everything in it, like, aged especially well. Like, it's racial commentary from the 80s, so you can kind of, like, expect that. But, you know, it's Hairspray. What more is there to say? 4 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I rewatched Heathers, the musical, because I wanted to, like, relive 6th grade, like, obviously, because isn't that so fun? I was obsessed with, this musical in, like, middle school, and, I mean, like, it's still really good. Like, obviously, I'm not, like, obsessed with it, like, I'm not, like, listening to the soundtrack in my spare time, but I still love it. It's a great musical. I like the movie slightly better, but musical is still awesome. 5 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I rewatched my Own Private Idaho. I fucking love this movie so much. The two leads are River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves. It's an amazing movie. I love it so much. I love surreal movies, which this is like kind of, it has surreal elements in it. It's really, really fucking sad, like, especially campfire scene. If you know, you know. If you haven't heard of this one, look it up. Like, go watch it. It's so good. It's amazing. Okay. Next up, I rewatched Maurice. I fucking love this movie so much. My best friend recommended this to me like 2 years ago, and it's like one of the best recommendations I've ever gotten. I rewatched it several times since like first watching it. It's an amazing movie. It's kind of ahead of its time. Like, it was made in like the 80s, but it's a queer love story between these two men, and then like a lot of stuff happens, but it's a good one. Definitely recommend. Okay. Next up, I watched Rushmore. This was my first time watching this movie. This is an kind of early Wes Anderson movie. It was great. It was funny. Yeah, it was good. Soundtrack was great. Recommend. 4 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I rewatched The Social Network. I'm not really, like, sure what else to say that already hasn't been said about The Social Network. It's a great movie. You know when, like, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are doing the soundtrack, the movie's gonna eat, so, like, yeah. 4.5 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I watched 28 Years Later. This movie is interesting. I haven't seen 28 Days Later in like forever. Like it's been a while. So I have to rewatch 28 Days Later, but I mean like I'm sure that like most people would agree with me, but 28 Days Later is better than 28 Years Later. But again, haven't seen 28 Days Later in forever, so I got to rewatch it. 28 Years Later was, okay. I feel like I rated it higher because my theater experience was so good. Like, the people in that theater were so funny, and I mean, if you've seen the movie, maybe you'll be like, what? But I laughed a lot. Like, I was laughing up a storm, and so was everyone else in the theater. 3.5 out of 5. Okay. All right. My smile's gonna disappear real fast because next up, I watched Uptown Girls for the first time. Oh my fucking god. This movie is so sad. It's so sad. Like, people, if you're watching this, maybe you've seen, like, clips of it, like, online. So maybe that doesn't surprise you that it's so sad, but you would think if you went into this movie blind that it's, like, it's gonna be lighthearted or whatever, and then it, like, punches you in the face. I cried during this movie. I did. Yeah. 4.5 out of 5. Okay. Next up, as I said earlier, I rewatched All of Us Strangers, which I love so much. I mean, you could see the plot twist coming from like a mile away, but that's fine. Doesn't bother me, to be honest. Yeah, Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott. It's great. 5 out of 5. Okay. Ooh, okay, this one's good. Next up, I rewatched Brokeback Mountain, but in theaters for its 20th anniversary. And that was a great experience. I went with my bestie, and yeah, it was awesome. I love Brokeback Mountain so much. I love that movie. And, most people do, so. Okay. Next up, I watched another documentary. This one's about John Waters. It's called Divine Trash. I like this slightly better than I Am Divine. I don't know. There's not much to say. It was a good documentary. I learned more. Like, I'm so, like, educated about, like, this subject now, and it's, like, it's such a niche thing. No one to talk to about it, besides my girlfriend. But, yeah. Okay. All right. Next up, I watched Handsome Devil, which was so mid. Like, it's like Dead Poets Society, but, like, on a budget, and, like, a million times worse, and also somehow less gay. Like, this movie is, like, surrounded around, like, kids discovering their sexuality and everything, and somehow this shit is, like, less gay than Dead Poets Society, which has, like, subtext to me. Like, feel free to disagree with me, but I think Dead Poets Society is pretty gay. But somehow this was less gay than the movie that's not explicitly gay, so whatever. Andrew Scott carried. All right, next up, I watched another documentary called All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. This was a great documentary. I learned a lot from this, and I mean, like, if you're not, like, interested, like, it's about a photographer. Oh, I don't know why I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like blanking on her name right now. Like, give me a second. Nan Golden. Okay, this documentary is about Nan Golden, who is a photographer, who was like around during the AIDS crisis, and she also like started a movement against opioid, I'm pretty sure, use, and how, like, the company that created opioids has, like, exploited people and gotten them, like, hooked on this because, or wait, I think it's opioids. Hold up. Yeah, opioids. I'm not stupid. Okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure I was right about that. But yeah. Yep. Okay. Next up, I watched The Brutalist, finally. This 3.5 hour long movie, dog. Like, Jesus Christ. I watched this, like, on a car ride home. So, yeah, that's the only time I had time to do that. This was a good movie. Yeah, I understand that there's, like, controversy around, like, AI usage in it and everything. I don't know that much about it, so I'm not gonna, like, speak on it, but, you know, yeah, I can see how that would be dicey with people, but just not thinking about that while watching this, I thought it was a good movie, and I'm excited to see what Brady Corbet does in the future, because I really like him, and I think that he directed this movie really well. 4 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I rewatched Saturday Night. You know, this is a fun movie. It's not like, it didn't, like, change my life or anything, but, like, you know, obviously not every movie is gonna do that. You know, it's just a fun movie. 4 out of 5. Okay. Y'all are gonna think I'm insane, but I went to see Brokeback Mountain again, in theaters, because I had other people who wanted to go see it, so I was like, yeah, I'll go see it with you guys, because they needed a ride, so I was like, yeah. Again, great experience seeing it in the theaters. Okay, next up, I watched the American version of Funny Games. Last month, I watched the original version, which, like, yeah, it was, like, you know, a disturbing movie. Not the most disturbing movie that, like, I've ever seen, but, like, yeah, it's a disturbing movie. It's a good, like, you know, psychological thriller, I guess you would call it. I don't know. The fourth wall breaks had me like, oh my gosh, like, what the fuck? But, you know, if you know, you know, if you've seen it. Watch the original. The American, like, if you're thinking about, like, which one to watch the original one. You know, don't, like, just watch the American one because, oh my gosh, it's in English, blah, blah, blah. Nope, watch the original. Because, like, honestly, they are kind of the same movie. Like, it's, like, a shot-for-shot, like, remake. It's by the same director, but I feel like it works better in, I think the original was in German. Like, the delivery felt weird in the American one, if that makes sense. And, I don't know. Just watch the original. Trust me. 3 out of 5. And if you're curious, I gave the original one a 4 out of 5. Okay. Next up, I watched 13. Bitch, like, you're doing all this at 13? I was, like, shipping Founding Fathers at 13. I had fucking, like, fan accounts. I was making edits. I was doing, like, the stupidest shit. And you're out here doing drugs and drinking and all this other stuff. Come on now. Shaking my head. Gone bad at such a young age. Where are your parents? But yeah, this was good. It's by the director who directed Twilight, which I haven't seen. Like, I know, maybe a shocker, but 3.5 out of 5. Okay, next up, I watched Polyester, another John Waters movie. This was good. This is definitely up there in terms of John Waters movies for me. Like, kind of like mocking the typical, like, suburban family. It was good. 4.5 out of 5. Okay, next up, I watched Snatch, which is a Guy Ritchie film. The only other Guy Ritchie film I've seen is The Gentleman, which I watched in, like, middle school, so I couldn't tell you shit that happened in that movie. Maybe I should rewatch it, but, yeah. Snatch was good. Like, the soundtrack was really good. Like, if there's a needle drop moment in a movie, and it's, like, a song I like, I'm sad. And that happened about, like, 2 times during this movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great, this is amazing. 4 out of 5. Okay. And last but not least, I capped off this month with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This is a David Fincher movie, and it was really good. David Fincher, has not missed in my book. Like, obviously I haven't seen all of his movies, but I've seen 5 now, including this one, and yeah, I've actually rated all of his movies 4.5 out of 5, so I kind of just spoiled the rating, but yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for this one. But yeah, all of his movies are so good. He hasn't missed. I have to watch Gone Girl. I haven't seen Gone Girl. I have to watch it next month, maybe, or this month, I guess, because I'm uploading this on like July 2nd. But yeah, so that's what I watched this month. Maybe I'll do one of these for July, but I just wanted to try something different with this channel. I haven't uploaded on here in forever. Don't watch those other 2 videos. Don't do it. But yeah. See you guys next time.